So going forward, instead of being all things to all people, I'm going to be all things to some people. And I'm growing my business from 280 clients down to 220. Hey, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. I just landed in Seattle after a really long flight. I keep forgetting how far away I live from a lot of things, but such a great part of the world. This is a great airport. Like many airports around the world, being renovated right now. Bit of mixed emotions. Just realized that Anthony's is closed for renovations. One of the best fish tacos you'll ever get. But silver lining, Beecher's Cheese is open. And if you've been to Seattle, you know how great their cheese is. Might be the best mac and cheese in the world. So anyway, all good. Yeah, just heading to my gate for my connection. You know, in Seattle, there's even a store here dedicated to all things travel and is very popular amongst flight crews. My wife used to be a flight attendant, quite possibly the best flight attendant ever. I'm not just saying that to score points, but many great gifts from that store, planeware. But yeah, you know, I just have to check in with you because I did a presentation today and I was reminded, you know, in terms of a proof of concept, our lab is feedback from clients that not only adopt our philosophy, but deploy our process. And you might have heard me say in the past that the advisor of the future is congruent, meaning everything's client-centered. You can have a client sit through any presentation I do and not be embarrassed because it's all stewardship, not salesmanship. My point is, the organizer of the event today, big event, I spoke to a lot of people. And on the stage, he had an empty chair. And when he's introducing me to the audience, he says, I want you to imagine your client is sitting right there. And you'd never be embarrassed because there's no trickery or tactics in what it is we're doing. Again, everything's client-centered. And what a great way to kick off an event. But I see it all the time. I had an advisor just the other day at a mastermind who's really bought in. And he's going through a process of reframing his relationships, reintroducing himself. And he's doing it flawlessly, and the reaction's been great. But basically what he's saying to his clients is, look, in the beginning, I'd work with just about anybody. Got to the point where I grew my business almost to diminishing returns because the client experience could have been diluted. So going forward, instead of being all things to all people, I'm going to be all things to some people. And I'm growing my business from 280 clients down to 220. And the reaction from clients has been amazing because basically what he's saying is, you know, I'm balancing scarcity with growth. Like I'm growing, but it's good growth. I'm attracting the right client consistently, but I still want you to feel like you belong to something. And you think about advocacy. Like an advocate feels like they belong to your community and they want to share that. They're not introducing people to you because they're trying to help you grow. They feel they're doing someone a disservice by not introducing them. That's what advocacy is. So balancing growth with scarcity can be communicated. If you've read anything about Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man, you know his position. He says, show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. So my point is, what's the incentive for a client to introduce someone to you or a strategic partner? It's to share your value with someone who has an unmet need that you can address, right? And this is where you move to a more enlightened state. You know, here's another example. I was talking to an advisor who lost a client. And I said, call him. Tell them you want to learn from this. You want this to serve you, not hurt you. You respect their decision. Ask them why they left. Ask them what it is the new advisor proposed to prompt you to make the move, and then ask the question, can I have your permission to stay in touch with you going forward? So an existing client becomes a former client, is now a prospective client. And you'll stay in touch with them and let the contrast principle work its magic, because I've seen it happen many times. They realize the grass wasn't greener. Just a little loyalty fatigue seeped in, but they want to come back. And do that, as Jim Rohn would say, not for what it gets you, for what it makes of you. That's what self-actualization is all about. So just a couple random thoughts about advocacy. You come to Seattle, get to Beechers. But anyway, until next time, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Make it a great day.